within the Vedic culture, the culture of Sanatana Dharma, that we always lean in to those activities that promote our essential identity. And so the East is slowly but surely beginning to give the world its most meaningful gifts. There was a lot of gifts in terms of giving the world IT people. Everywhere you go around the world, you'll find a lot of IT specialists from India, and also a lot of people with business acumen. We can see in South Africa how many generations later, first you had Indian people that come to work the fields, and somehow or the other they've picked themselves up economically, that none of you have to think about cutting sugarcane. But this is not really the advancement that the great spiritual culture promotes. That material advancement, whether one has it or doesn't have it, one can still be a failure in the mission of life. So the great wisdom, the great export of India is the spiritual heritage, the spiritual wisdom, of which the yoga culture is part of it. So to take care of the body, to take care of the mind, to strengthen the intellect, and to liberate the soul from its identification with this temporary world and its painful attachment to fleeting pleasures. So these technologies then are there. Patanjali gave amazing yoga shastra. Then there's also the Puranas, the Upanishads. Puranas, they end at Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Upanishads end at Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita. By show of hands, who knows about Bhagavad Gita? Yes, very famous. And Bhagavad Gita also is known as Yoga Shastra, because in there, Kama Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga are discussed. So within that Gita, Krishna is teaching that Vedaischa aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krit Veda vid eva chaham. By all the Veda, by all knowledge, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the knower of that Veda. So the culmination of cultivating knowledge is to understand the source of all knowledge. And to understand that source, one has to have some relationship. And of all things that we want in relationships, love. Whether it's parental relationship, spousal relationships, we deal and feel the best when there's loving exchanges. And in that culture of cultivating love, this bhakti then appears. Actually, the translation of bhakti means love, also means devotion. So if I love you, but I'm not devoted to serving you, then it's like the love of Coca-Cola, you know. I love Coca-Cola. I love, what else do you love? You love roti, maybe. Yeah, we love many things. People say like I love hip hop, I love soccer. But that sort of love of Coca-Cola is not natural in that Coca-Cola doesn't love us back. So it's sort of one way. But actual love is a transaction between two sentient beings. So the ultimate loving relationship is between the Bhakta, the devotee, and Bhagavan. So Bhakta and Bhagavan, the transaction is Bhakti, love. And so if you love someone, you tend to talk about them a lot. You tend to think about them no one has to force you. In fact, others have to sometimes tell you to be quiet. Hey, you have to talk about them all the time. Just enough now. So, in a loving relationship, I remember once MTN had a billboard. There's a picture there of two young people, you know, googly-eyed, looking at each other's eyes. And their tagline was, "It all started with a call." And so, hello, hi. Or even you meet on the streets, so, Ashita, how are you? When you have someone's name, then the relationship starts to build. Sometimes we know people, we've seen them, but we don't know their name. As soon as they come before us, we start to ask, like, what's their name again? Remind me their name. So that when I meet them and I call them by their name, there's a particular sweetness that we feel. Within the Hare Krishna movement, because there's a standard way of calling the men, you know, we address as Prabhu, and the ladies as Mataji. So sometimes, like say I met you today, Hashita, and then next time I've forgotten your name, then I'm trying to remember what's her name. But I can sort of get away with it by saying, how are you doing, Mataji? But when I call you by your name, anyone, when you hear your name, you know, it's particularly interesting to you. And we all like to hear our names, especially when it's people that we appreciate. So this mantra that we will chant is also comprising the names of addressing the supreme loving couple, Radha and Krishna. So Hare addresses Radharani as the spiritual pleasure potency of God. And Rama addresses Krishna. Who knows the meaning of Ram? Ram these days is super famous because of the temple opening in Ayodhya, yeah? Ram, what does that mean? Ram Majorin, Hyperama, Vidyarama. Rama means
the soul.
Rama means pleasure. So Ram means the ocean of pleasure, the reservoir of all pleasure. So from God, we who are taking drops in the desert of this world, we try to connect to the ocean of happiness. And Krishna means the all-attractive person. So we will chant Hare Krishna, and it's a simple way to just revive that happy, peaceful inner child. Material world makes us too serious. You've heard the Maya mantra before, right? Hare Krishna mantra. So we'll just give a melody, I'll chant, then everyone together, then alone, then together. And then we'll give you guys also a chance to lead just small segments. How long should we go for? 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes, okay. It's okay?